everyone, and welcome to Overcast. This is the 53rd episode of Overcast, your Overwatch podcast. Joined with the full crew today, I'm Frostee, there's Ovadrive, and Sawfty. How are you guys doing out there?
Doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Softy's giving us the thumbs up, so...
Yep, I'm doing well.
I'm assuming that he's doing pretty well.
I played Warcraft the entire day today and yesterday. I'm doing great, thank you.
Nice. Well, let's get the formalities out of the way, of course, and that's that you can follow us on Twitter at Overcast Show. You can also go to overcast.frozenfoxmedia.com. You can learn about this show, all the blog page. There's all the show notes and everything like that for you. Links to everything we talk about. You go to frozenfoxmedia.com if you want to learn about this and all the other content on the Frozen Fox Media Network, which we'll talk about in just a second. And then also, you can check us out on our Facebook page. Give us a like there. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you're watching the video version of this on YouTube, so you'll never miss an episode. And if you're listening to the audio version on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, or elsewhere, if you love the show, let us know. Give us a good review if you like the show. If you have anything that you want to say about the show, you can say it there too. Well, we can take it. We got tough skin, so... So there's that out of the way. Let's talk about what we've been up to this week. And I'll start with Ova. What have you been up to, man?
Yeah, been playing a ton of Legion the last couple of days. Getting my eye level up on my Demon Hunter, playing through all the artifact stuff. It's
What's
just
the
a
eye
ton
level?
of fun. I'm at 837, I think, right now.
Get some.
So,
Nice. Get
Yeah,
there.
837, so I've been playing the Mythics.
Nice.
It's been a lot of fun. And then, since the digital goodies have been announced, which we'll talk about in a little bit, just getting that BlizzCon excited bug planted in me.
Yep.
Less than 2 months away, so I cannot wait.
We're under 50 days. It's 48 days today right now, so if I remember right.
So exciting.
Yes, it is so close. Softy, what have you been up to?
I don't know. I'm playing Warcraft. Leave me alone. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Warcraft this week.
He sent me about 800 emails saying that he wants to make this a Druid theory crafting show instead, so...
That could be. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. I took a couple days off work this week so that I could get caught up. I was a little stressed out because I was kind of behind in Legion, being that I was working and traveling. So got to catch up. I think my Restoration Druid is at, 8:30, and my Feral is now at 8:26. So getting there.
Nice.
I know, slow. I know, I got a ways to go, but at least I'm feeling better about it. I did get to play some Overwatch this week. That's
Nice.
right. Look at me.
Did you get
Nice.
Placed?
What's that?
Did you get placed yet?
Not completely. I'm
Okay,
like 4 or
okay.
6 or whatever it is. So 100% Lucio. So offense, defense didn't matter. I went Lucio
Not a
the
bad
whole
strategy, actually.
Do you just go in and like spam match chat and you're like Lucio Ball or Riot?
time. I do wall ride and pretend. I definitely do miss the Lucio ball. That I forget how much that kept me in the game. I played almost no WoW that entire time. I just played Lucio Ball the entire time. I got all but 2 skins, I think, and all the rest of the stuff
Wow.
I have. So
I got like
yeah, I played
nothing.
a lot of Lucio Ball.
They need to add that as a custom game option.
They do, absolutely.
You know?
Yep.
It should be like the next panel over. Lucio Ball.
It is. It's just it's off the edge of your screen. You just can't see it. That's what it is.
I know they had a lot of issues though at the end there where players were finding the bug where they could change characters if they spammed H.
Yep.
And so you'd have like a Pharah in there, which by the way is really unfair because they can kill you still.
Or
So you'd have
like a
Pharah,
Roadhog.
fly up and they'd ult and kill you.
Or a
And then you'd
Roadhog.
just lay there dead.
Like a
I
Roadhog.
don't miss that part.
I saw a Roadhog get in there once, and he just like grappled
they're
everyone.
so good.
He just like grabs chain, chain everyone, kill, and then score. Yeah.
Oh, I miss that very much. So no, I got to play some Overwatch, which I was happy about. The one really nice thing is that at the end of the day, if I don't have a lot of time, I can play a couple matches and be done. And WoW, I don't feel like I get anything done in that time. So it's nice when there's not a lot of time to have. I do hope to play quite a bit more once we get into our first raid tier here, and don't need to be grinding gear.
The tier
all
that's
by
not a
the time.
tier. By the way.
I know, it's tier 0, as I'll call it. So that's what I've been up to.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I have been very busy, and then I became like not busy finally. But over the last few months, I've been working on like a side project that is like new and different, something like I've never done before. And that was what we launched yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago now, on the network, which is our first video game journalism website, our first foray into something that's not podcasting. And yeah, it's been pretty exciting because it's called pixelprowler.com. And we always say that since our mascot is a tiger, we hunt down the video game news that you care about, you know. At least that's what it says in your taskbar, you know, if you have the webpage open. But it's a place for us to write about video games, not just Blizzard, because most of our podcasts in the network are centered around Blizzard. But we have a Pause Screencast, which is all video games. And this is kind of like a place for us to kind of sit there and write about all the video games. Since I'm not on any of those podcasts, I gotta have my outlet, you know. So, you can go there and you can learn about every kind of video game from all walks of life. We PC, console, mobile, everything, and we all have community stories and stuff like that. And we have some really exciting stuff coming down the pipe. It's just not time for it yet. So,
does that include Warcraft, Overwatch, etc.?
Of course. The second article I wrote was a Warcraft article. It has a screenshot of my druid on there, so very proud of that.
Excellent. I can't wait to guest star.
There you go. So go and check it out. And if you're somebody who likes to write about video games, you can always contact us on there and talk about contributing to the site, because I'm always welcome. You're always welcome to contact me, and we can see if we can get you, if you want to write a review about something, or if you got an editorial, you want to rant about something, we can talk about getting that on there. So
very cool.
Sawfty will rant about something, I'm sure.
Oh, I absolutely will. It'll be Lucio will.
That's what I was about to say. He's going to
druids.
Yeah.
And druids. Lucio Wall and druids.
Sawfty will present a 5,000 signed petition, and he'll present it on there as an editorial to have Lucio Ball back. That's cool.
Me.
So there's everything out of the way for what we've been up to. Let's talk about the news this week. We're still in the midst of season 2. Ova, have you been climbing the ladder? You've been kind of stagnating because of WoW, or?
Yeah, I've been stagnant because of WoW, exactly. But my goal is, I think I'm going to set a goal of maybe Diamond. See if I can get Diamond. I'm in Gold right now, so that would be like a tier and a half by the end of the season would be my goal.
Nice.
So I'm going to see if I can achieve that. I think that's reasonable. So
nice.
Gotta get in there and do that.
Straight for coal. I get coal, I'll be good.
So, Sawfty, you said you've been doing your placement matches, and what's your record in placement again?
I was not good.
Yeah.
I won my first game. I'm gonna give you a thumbs up and tell you that much.
There you go.
Almost as good as season 1, I'll tell you.
Well, right now in mine, I have actually bettered season 1. So
wow.
And I've only got 6 games under my belt. I know I'm slacking, but it's been pretty busy now. But actually, one thing I noticed when I was going through the placement matches, they go a lot faster than season 1. First of all,
They feel like
it seems like in season 1, it was like I did my placement matches and it took like forever to get through them. And when I did like 5 more games the other day, I like knocked them out in like an hour and a half. It was like piece of cake. And so I don't know. I started out, like I told you before, I did the first one and we lost horribly. And then I did my next one when I started up, we lost again. I had a really, really crappy team, like 2 offensive Mays, or not 2 offensive Mays, but there was an offensive May and who was it? There's somebody else like didn't belong. Like, I was just like, oh, come on. And then the next match I queued up immediately, and then like we kind of got like a mix of some people on the other team and the other team. And there was like the same people playing again. We were like, hey, didn't we just play with each other? And we actually got a draw on that match. So that was kind of crazy, like to get to the end of the match and then there was a draw and everybody was like, whoa. And so then I was like, all right, I don't want to play with these people anymore. I know it's bad, but it's like okay, I'm done. If it's going to happen again, I don't want to do it. So I waited like 5 or 10 minutes to queue again. I got all new people, and I got into a group that we dominated the next 3 rounds, like the next 3 matches that I played. Just obliterated the other team. So for whatever reason, I got a great group of people, and it wasn't the same people everything, but it was like I got into the right cycle, I guess, to where I was in with like the good crew. So I felt pretty good. I had 2 matches that I thought I like, for sure would have play the game, even though Mercy got nerfed play the game wise. We'll talk about that. I thought for sure I would have had that in a Junkrat game, but nothing. It was like always something else. So I don't know. So there's where we stand. And season 2, it's going strong. I think the biggest thing is that there's not really any sweeping changes to the game to talk about like we had in season 1, because back then they were just fixing stuff and they knew it was kind of like a temporary thing. So it just swung the nerf bat wildly. It seemed like now we got like nothing.
What do you think about their timing with the Legion launch? That's something that's bothered me on other Blizzard games before, where they're timing 2 major events at the same time. Because I would have loved to had time to do and play that. And I'm not saying we shouldn't have had the Legion launch, don't get me wrong, but just the way that's timed so closely together, and especially the way that Legion was built or planned, was that as soon as you get in, if you want to raid, you better start grinding now, and you better grind all the way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so having a game that, like I played for a long time, Overwatch kind of becomes secondary for that reason alone. But I don't know, just maybe a little spacing there. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that Blizzard knew when they wanted to launch, even though they Season 2 started early for whatever reason, the speculative reason that I said, right?
Right.
But for whatever reason, when they started early, we kind of knew when it was going to start about, because it was correlating with the seasons and everything. And I think maybe the WoW team should have butted out, maybe moved their launch date around.
Yeah,
they announced later.
Yeah, it could have earlier or later, but just to have them so close doesn't really allow for time for both.
What was it? Oh, go ahead, Ova. You go first.
I was just gonna say, I think you're absolutely right. It's very difficult for me to choose as a PC gamer because I want to be playing Legion, I want to be playing Overwatch, I want to be playing Heroes, and there's no time for all that.
How many times have we said, let's go play Heroes together, and we end up doing something else?
I know.
Playing WoW.
Yeah. But I think, Overwatch also has a console audience, so I think there's also a segment of people that we may not be considering here whenever we're thinking about conflicts, and Blizzard knows that a little bit better, obviously, but you're right. Definitely from a PC gamer perspective, it's difficult. They put us in a tough spot, but it's a good tough spot to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess I didn't think about it that way from the console. That's a really good point, because a lot of the console gamers probably aren't worried about Warcraft and Legion. It's a lot more convenient for them. Yeah, that's a good point. I suppose, they have to release both of them at some point. I just wish they could have been a little bit further apart.
Yeah.
I think back to I think it was BlizzCon last year, and it was the week after BlizzCon. I try to remember what it was too. I can't. Don't mind me if I'm wrong, but I think there was a release from everything, because there was something for Heroes, Legacy of the Void launched the week after BlizzCon. There was a Hearthstone expansion that launched the same week. I think a Diablo season started within a week or so of BlizzCon, and there was
Warcraft got the selfie cam. Yeah,
I think there was a WoW content patch around there too. So it was everything had something the week after BlizzCon or right around there, and I was holy cow! What do you do if you're a Blizzard fan? I don't know.
Well, and see that's the thing is if they launched something with Hearthstone or something with HOTS, I wouldn't be worried about time. But because Legion has a strict time for the raid, and Overwatch it's a start. There's a start and an end to the season. It's okay, I guess, if they had, hey, Overwatch is this and WoW is this, but they're both very small windows to compete in. I guess I just say Season 2 is a wash for me and try to hit up Season 3.
No, you could still place and climb the ladder where you can get those points so you can buy those weapons. Hopefully,
right, and then I get to raid and yell at me because I'm not ready.
I'm actually pretty close to a golden gun, so I do need to get in there and do that. I want that.
Yeah,
my soldier.
So, let's brush through the patch that came out, because it was it was basically the anti-Mercy patch. Because we talked about how Mercy was getting all the play of the game, and now she gets none. So it's all about no more Mercy. I didn't see any. I got 3 or 4 reses in at a time, things like that. Nothing. So, I guess I should have been playing Overwatch earlier. I guess that's what it is. I was playing WoW. Should have been playing Overwatch to get all those plays of the game. So it's my own fault. But
I hope we see some Ana play of the games.
Yeah, right?
Speaking of this healer play of the game nerf, I've never seen an Ana play of the game.
Neither have I. That's true.
No. Ever.
Even when she first came out, and the first weekly brawl was the ones where it was all the tanks and Ana. I never saw one with her either. So
right.
So
I wonder if she can do enough, or what the parameters are on her for a play of the game. Because I don't know. I think what she does is very when you see a Roadhog or a Genji. Yeah, it's very subtle. And I don't know how they would create parameters around that for what could be a play of the game. Like, what do you do for Ana? How do you put that into a computer and compute that
automatically
to a play of the game?
Yeah, you're right. It'd be difficult because her stim pack or whatever it is, Nano Boost. I mean, the play of the game goes to the person who gets boosted.
Yep.
So like it would have to be like her throwing a grenade and it ticks down people that are already low because of like a Diva ult or a Junkrat ult, and then she just finishes them off or something like that.
It's like Mercy, except Mercy has the Resurrect.
Yeah.
Without the Resurrect, Mercy, I don't think we'd ever see a Mercy play of the game, except for the rare occasion when she gets a couple headshots in.
I'm gonna go get offensive Mercy play. I got a triple kill once and a res, and I thought I got to play the game for sure, and it never happened. And I was like, come on, like that would never have happened any other time. You know, I think I need like a multiplier on my kills or something.
Yeah.
Well, when we were playing Sawfty, he was on Mercy, and we wiped out their entire team, and he backs up into that door and reses the entire team. I mean, that's such a big event. How do you calculate that for Ana?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what I would ever see as play of the game.
It's a good question.
We should play an all Ana game.
Just to have it happen.
What it is.
Yeah.
It's all like achievement unlocked, world first Ana play the game.
I want that.
We just never thought of it. That's what it was. I guess the only thing that ever happened in the patch, though, is they increased the payload speed on Eichenwald.
Mm-hmm.
So if you thought the payload was moving too slow, you were... Buzz agrees with you.
Depends if it's offense or defense.
There you go. So other than that, I mean, there's not really a lot to talk about, like, in the game itself. So let's talk about the Overwatch developer video that happened. We put it on the blog page last week because it came out like right when I posted the show. So I just threw it on there anyway. So Ova, you got some time to watch that. It's some hardcore networking talk.
Very, very technical net codes language. But they do a good job trying to bring it down to the explain like I'm 5 level, the kindergarten level.
Yep, they do.
Yeah, I was still way over my head.
Yeah, they bring out the fair cups and they use those as little animations to talk about it. And
they're going to be in the Blizzard gear store one day.
They better be.
Yeah. But anyways, really what they were talking about was the high bandwidth network connection that they've now implemented. It was just in custom games. They've now implemented that into all modes, so quick play and competitive. They describe kind of what that means in terms of netcode. So it brings, in essence, there's kind of 3 points. There's your server authority, which is kind of the middle piece. There's the person on the right, who is your player, your opponent, and that person has some type of lag to the server. And then you have yourself, which has also some type of lag to the server. And you're all going off that central server authority. And the high bandwidth basically brings that time that you react with the server closer. And it's supposed to create instances where you have less deaths around a corner or like hooks around a corner, things like that.
Yep.
And if your network connection can't keep up with the high bandwidth, they also were talking about technology that they put in so it adjusts you to a speed where it makes sense so you're not lagging.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
it's crazy stuff like they're doing in the back end.
It's really
right?
interesting.
So it's pretty cool. Like, I think it's going to affect all of your hit scan heroes that you like to play.
Yep.
So there you go. Go and check out the video. So like I said, it's on the blog page, so you can go and learn about it. You can watch the Farrah Cup demonstration, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So going on from that news, let's talk about the sad news. It just happened. If we had a reporter on the scene, we could go live to them. If any of us were in California right now, Chris Metzen, of course, a few days ago, he announced his, I guess you want to say retirement. I don't want to say it, but it's really what it is. He announced his retirement from Blizzard after over a quarter of a century.
Yep.
And today was his farewell party, and they had the big get together. He gave his speech, which I hope somebody recorded because I want to see it. And they also unveiled the fact that he is going to be apparently getting a statue at Blizzard headquarters, which is amazing. If there's anybody that deserves it at Blizzard, though, I mean, come on, Metzen himself.
Yeah.
And it's a huge thing to see Metzen leaving Blizzard. Like, it has an impact on every game that we play, like whether it's World of Warcraft or anything, all the way down to Overwatch. You know, like when it was first announced, watching Chris Metzen geek out about like how amazing Overwatch was and like the story behind it and like what the whole game just like was, like it's so exciting to like watch him talk about it. And you know, for him to step away now and to go and retire, like he said in his post, to go and sit on his couch and get fat and play with his kids, you know. And more power to him. I mean, he has definitely put in the time, and he definitely deserves a great retirement. And I just hope that we get to see, you know, him at BlizzCon. Like, he should come back and like do a panel about just like geekdom or something at BlizzCon, like just as an honorary guest, you know. But
it was cool how he said that he's still excited to come back and actually see the stuff in the game and be surprised, and you know, it'll be something new where he doesn't already know what's going to happen. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. It's an exciting thing for him now. He gets to experience it just like all of us, even though, you know, a little bit he'll know still some NDA stuff, of course. But yeah, it's a big turning point. Like, Ova, do you have any like fond memories of Metzen or anything interesting you want to say about him?
Yeah, no, I mean, I just remember last year at BlizzCon, the opening ceremony, whenever he was talking about it, or this was maybe 2 years ago, when he was talking about the unveiling of Overwatch, and just kind of how you could see all the emotions of him kind of running through him. He was excited, nervous to announce it, but I think it turned out really well. Obviously, Overwatch is a huge hit, big success, love the game, and I'll always remember him kind of coming out to present that, announce it, so that was cool.
Yeah, definitely. And Sawfty, what do you want to say?
It's a hard one. I remember, well, for me it is, because I remember coming back to the game. I left a little bit in Cataclysm, and I decided to buy the virtual ticket for, it was a BlizzCon where they announced Warlords. Is that 2012? Oh, it was 2013.
2013. 2013,
yeah, 2013. I think. And I knew quite a bit about Warcraft at the time, but I didn't recognize him by face when he first came out. And I remember him walking across the screen and his voice, and I still right now get shivers on the back of my head and all the way down my legs of his voice announcing and his, oh man, his stage presence. And it was very hard for me to watch the Legion announcement, because although I really believe in the people that built it and what an awesome thing they did, the guys that were on stage talked like you and I talk. And Chris Metzen was on a completely different level from those people. I was really still excited about the features, but the way Chris put things and the voices that he could come up with were just something that you don't see a lot of people have. And so I think while we're losing somebody that's been part of this for so long, we're also losing a voice, because that guy looked like a normal, good-looking guy, had this incredible voice, and loved this game. And I thought it was so cool to have that as kind of the face, and not what somebody that doesn't know anything about video games might think someone would look like. And I don't know, I'm really going to miss that. And as much as I thought all the memes on Twitter were ridiculous, personally I have a lot of memories of Chris. Obviously from afar, like I said, a virtual ticket. I was never at BlizzCon. But I just really respect what he was able to bring to this game, what felt kind of like legitimacy to his presentations.
Yeah. So I have a memory too. Before that, I'm going to share like some of the stuff from Ghostcrawler. You know, you might remember Greg Street. He shared some memories on Twitter this week, and you know, one of the ones he shared is one of the ones that like I could always picture, because I've seen him do it at BlizzCon in person so many times, whether it's like in an interview or in a panel or whatever. And somebody will ask him something, or they'll be talking at like a Warcraft, you know, lore panel or something, and like, you know, the other people like on stage, various people over the years, they'll be talking or addressing a question or whatever, and then there's Chris Metzen, and he's sitting there like this. He's just kind of like, like scratching his chin. And Greg Street related, like sitting there in meetings with, you know, Chris Metzen there, and they'd be like having these discussions, and then you look over and Chris Metzen sitting in the corner, like kind of just like zoning out. And he said like you always knew like something profound was about to come out of his mouth when you saw like that look on his face. And I could always imagine that, like like he's just that kind of guy, like cerebrally on a level like way above us, and he like understands like these stories and the characters in them, and like he's so intertwined with these people, like whether it be Diablo or StarCraft or Warcraft or anything, like it's just like part of him. And everybody, a lot of people rag on Cataclysm, you know, they don't like Cataclysm that much. I personally I like Cataclysm, and I was there at BlizzCon 2009 when they announced it, and you know, Cataclysm was basically like leaked before it got announced anyway. Like we all know that.
Wrath.
Yeah. So we basically like knew what was going to be announced and like what it had to do. Like nothing was like a surprise. And you know that like he knew that too going up on stage. But I remember sitting in the crowd. I think that was like the closest I ever sat to the stage for an opening ceremony. It was like, I don't know, probably 15 rows back and like right in the middle. Like it was like one of those places where like you're squished in and everybody's like standing basically because like you can't see anything.
You got there 2 hours ahead of time.
Yeah, just sat there forever. You know, like snuck my breakfast in and like ate it there kind of thing. So he came out on stage, and here he is. He's about to announce Cataclysm, and he's like hyping the story. Like, you know, everybody knows what he's about to announce. Like that was the interesting thing. Like everybody knows who he's about to talk to. It's like not even a secret anymore. But even though like we knew what he was gonna say, and we like everybody knows what's going on, he swallowed up all the air in the room, and like everybody was completely enthralled and hanging on every word as he like kind of like nondescriptly described like what Deathwing was and the Cataclysm, and then he was just like, you know, I'm ready to like show you the trailer for Cataclysm, and like the emotion that he used to like announce that was just amazing. And I've been there for a lot of announcements at BlizzCon. That one was like the most electrifying one, and it was like I said, it was weird because like everybody knew what was going to happen. Everybody knew what he was about to say, and no matter, even with all that, the way he can tell a story and the way that he's emotionally invested in like what he was doing is like completely electrifying and amazing.
Yep.
So,
well, I personally never had an issue with Cataclysm, but you know, personally I had to take a break. I met my wife that year and sold my gaming PC to pay for our first date. Just going to say that right here. Yeah, but I remember that, and I also I look back on the Warlords announcement. Now, we had just been, for anybody who doesn't know, raiding in MoP in one raid tier for over a year, and the entire raid tier was about an orc. Chris Metzen went up on stage and sold me to pay $69.99 for a collector's edition about an entire expansion about orcs. And I can't tell you how sick of orcs I was at this point, but Metzen got up there and he did what he does, and I couldn't have been more excited.
Yeah.
And he gives such a voice. He literally gave those characters a voice in many instances. When you find out what Chris Metzen was the voice actor for, sometimes it's like, holy God, that was him? But yeah, you said it very well. I'm just going to really miss that. And I don't know that anybody else can really get up there and have that presence. I remember, was it Morheim that announced Wrath?
I think that he was there when they did it, like because they did it.
He might have been.
They did it at the Worldwide Invitational. So
I kind of remember him being like a used car salesman, just like here's what's going on, here's what we got. You know what I mean? And then we have these other guys like Ian Hazakosis and those guys up there now that are really knowledgeable, nice guys. But just that energy, that fire that Metzen has, I don't know that anybody can really replace that. So that's a huge loss for us, but dude deserves it. He's been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
He's been so involved in it. It's not like he's like, hey, I came here and then I went somewhere else to do something else. He was on this one project for so long, and then he did all these other offshoots for Blizzard. The guy deserves a break and deserves everything he gets, including a statue.
Yep. I just hope that he attends this BlizzCon or another one.
Yeah.
And that I get to see him. He's like the only one that I've never met. And it's probably because I've always heard that he visits all the parties and he's always like on the go.
Well, have you heard the rumor about BlizzCon and Metzen's retirement?
I have not. I have not heard this rumor.
There's nothing to talk about, so he retired.
There you go. So happy trails, Chris.
Yep.
It's been great. He's basically been working Blizzard for as long as I've been alive. So when you think about it, so, you know, since I was like a coherent human being. But I get I know it's not Overwatch related, but the last bit of the fields was also when Taryn Gregory dropped the fact that reminding everyone on Twitter that he voiced Varian Rin in the Broken Shore cinematic.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. So
and that was another really emotional moment for all of us that were watching that.
I know, all the feels.
Yeah.
If Legion wasn't already giving us the feels,
I know.
Come on, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about BlizzCon anyway, and those virtual goodies.
Yes.
Them virtual goodies are here. So
your local pet collector is very excited.
So tell us about these Warcraft pets that are coming.
So what they decided to do this year is something they've never done before. So for those that don't know, as part of Warcraft's portion of the virtual ticket or BlizzCon ticket, every year we've gotten Murloc battle pets, from Deathy to Merkalot, which was the Paladin. I think it was that from the... I don't remember which one that was from, but that's the Paladin Murloc. We've gotten all sorts of them. Gromlock, who was Grom Hellscream as a Murloc. This year, they're actually focusing on Horde versus Alliance, which I think is really cool because as we saw anyone who started Legion, there is all of a sudden we were partnering together, and there's now a really big divide. And so you're going to get one Murloc, either an Alliance Murloc or a Horde Murloc. Now, there are some of us that are choosing to believe that when you log on to your Horde character, if you have an Horde alt, that battle pet will be there for the Horde side. They did that with the Moonkin Hatchling, which is a balanced Druid battle pet on the shop, that you get both the Horde and Alliance version. So we're hoping you get both, but it specifically says in the preview to choose your side. So
yes.
Yeah, so this is, unfortunately for those that are very serious about collecting pets, there are actually ranks of collections, and so that'll be a gaping hole for some people if they're not on both. But man, I'm so excited.
So Ova, let's get to Overwatch and talk about the goodies that are going to come to our game.
Yeah, so the goodies for Overwatch is a Bastion skin that is BlizzCon themed, and it says BlizzCon on it. The picture he's holding Ganymede there, and it's kind of blue and silver and charcoal colored. I actually really like it.
Yeah, looks really nice.
I'm excited to have that skin.
If you notice,
I don't play Bastion that much, but
it was pointed out by somebody at Blizz, I think today, that if you notice that Ganymede is actually Pepe in the skin.
I didn't. That's awesome.
Oh, is it? That's fantastic.
That's great. I didn't see that.
So there's
anybody else wish it wasn't Bastion? Like I think Bastion is great, and there are some good skilled Bastion players, but we already have the Forest one from the story they wrote about him. We have all these other legendaries. It's like, couldn't it have been anybody else?
Yeah, they could have. If they're going to make you choose with the Horde and Alliance, why didn't they make a skin for every hero and make you choose? Then whoa, mind blowing.
That'd be cool. I mean, you could definitely have done like Reaper Tracer or Reaper Mercy or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. Horde and Alliance.
Soldier 76.
Soldier 76 and Reaper. That'd have been pretty cool.
Just Soldier X, because it's BlizzCon 10, right?
Soldier X. Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity.
So you'll get the Diablo 3 20th anniversary pet, which is a Diablo.
Yeah. When I first saw that, I thought it was another battle pet, and I got really excited. It is not.
There's the Hearthstone Welcome In card back, which it's kind of like the colors of Overwatch, so the kind of...
Yeah.
So many card backs. You can use one at a time. Give them a card or something. I really dislike that. I think it's lazy.
Myself and a lot of other people I know are excited about the Heroes of the Storm. You get the Nexus Tiger mount.
Yep. That looks awesome.
Yeah. Some of us talked about cosplaying that. But there's no way. There's no way right now. with less than 50 days. It's not going to happen.
Yep.
And then for StarCraft 2 fans, there's, quote, mystery goodies, because it's something that has not been announced, apparently. So you're going to get something cool. It's going to be kind of like Cho'Gall when we got him.
Yeah.
We didn't have any clue, but this is just including
what can they give us that's that exceedingly cool for StarCraft?
It's a portrait.
It's a portrait. It's always a... no.
They did say that you would get a portrait, but there's something up. They just said a fun new piece of upcoming StarCraft 2 content, and then there's like a footnote, and it says bonus StarCraft 2 goodie will also be available separately. More details to come.
So could you be at any level of StarCraft expansions to claim this?
Yeah, usually you can.
Yeah.
Right. My guess is that it's
every single one from every BlizzCon I've ever done, dating back to, I think, I don't know, whatever the Cataclysm one, and I've never played StarCraft.
Okay.
My guess is that it's going to be like a new hero for a co-op play, but
yeah,
that seems to be like the new thing. So
yeah,
so
that's true.
There's that, and the last thing we'll talk about is TESPA, and
do you mind? I had a comment on BlizzCon.
Go for it.
What's happening this year? Any ideas?
Diablo 4, obviously.
Yep. It's gotta be Diablo.
I've heard Diablo 4. Legion is out. Overwatch is out. Those are both doing extremely well. Hearthstone just had another new expansion. Man, they have more expansions than Rabbit have babies.
They have like 2 a year, right?
Just had another one.
I think we'll get
Diablo, right?
Yeah, and I think we'll get a few new heroes for Heroes of the Storm because their schedule's like every couple of weeks. I think it's like every 3 weeks. So they'll probably unveil like 1 or 2 there.
The thing everybody's wondering about Heroes is like, when is the arena going to come from last year?
Well,
but a lot of us have speculated that we speculated that it got bad reviews at BlizzCon and they never released it.
Well, so what do you guys think about Overwatch expansion?
Campaign,
sure, and anything like that where you have, I don't know, maybe 3 new heroes, some new skins available, something small that keeps it going, but isn't a whole new game.
New map.
I mean, they're going to have to talk about Legion, which is easy because there's a whole bunch of new content coming in 7.1, the next raid tier, a little bit further down the line. That's easy. Overwatch is going into competitive season 2. What are they going to talk about?
It's one of those things where they live, their longevity, I think, is just going to live through the patches and upfront sales, really, and people buying loot boxes. So
think about the old BlizzCons. Every time, because they talk about everything, right? And so every time they come up there, they talk about one of the games. What are they going to announce for Overwatch? It's got to be something.
Sombra.
Heroes.
Sombra.
We already know it's going to be Sombra. I didn't.
There is no Sombra.
I didn't check before. I didn't check before we started. What
44%.
44%. Okay.
What is 44%?
It is the transmission percentage that Sombra is currently at right now.
Yeah, on momentincrime.com.
Momentincrime.com, yeah.
So
check it out, ARG.
Yeah, Sombra will get here. If it's 44%, has anybody calculated the rate to see if it's going to land on BlizzCon yet still?
It feels that way, just how slow it's been ticking.
I think
that's one option then. That I could definitely see that happening where they get a new hero.
Yeah.
The hype, yeah.
When it originally started moving again, I think somebody calculated that it would get to 100% like the week before BlizzCon or something like that. So we'll see.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I don't remember if we talked about it in this show, but Diablo has like the conspiracy theory. If you saw like the physical goodies, and if
no, I haven't seen the physical goodies.
The dice bag.
But I haven't seen it.
The dice bag has a completely different Diablo logo.
That's right. I remember that.
And there's something funny about the 4 on the dice.
Yes. Yep. There was a differential 4. Yeah, I saw a post on that. By the way, for people listening, what's in that physical bag this year that Sawfty may have bought and not looked at what was in it?
The biggest thing is the Stein.
Stein, yeah.
That's right.
You get a blow-up inflatable Reinhardt hammer.
Which is basically a black hammer that you get at the fair. Why couldn't they have chosen anything else?
You get coasters. You get
I like that. Those
are a Horde
nice.
Coaster. Yep. You get an ETC Heroes of the Storm guitar pick keychain.
Yep.
That's cool.
Hearthstone one is just like a tablet cleaner.
Yeah, it's like a microfiber cloth.
It's such garbage.
Hey, Hearthstone messes up your phone, man.
Yeah.
Play it enough.
Well, hey, I'll just use it with my normal phone. I guess that's fine. The Stein sounds pretty cool, but
the Stein is worth it. The Stein is worth it.
Nothing Overwatch related?
That's the Reinhardt hammer.
Reinhardt hammer.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Anything good Overwatch related? I made that post when they first put that up, and I sent it immediately to the devs, and I just said, this is a black hammer that I could buy at any local county fair for a certain number of tickets and blow up myself. why it just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's okay. Like, I got a box over here that has like all the Paladin bubbles from like '09 or whatever in them. So.
Send them on over. I'm waiting.
There's like it's basically a beach ball with a cardboard Paladin in it. So that's what it was. So anyway, TESPA.
Yes.
Collegiate sports, and we've seen them much involved with Heroes of the Storm.
Heroes of the Dorm.
Heroes of the Dorm, yes.
Dorm, yep.
And now they're going to be adding Overwatch and Hearthstone to their lineup coming this fall. So, are we going to see like an Overwatch of the Dorm?
Maybe.
Overwatch of the Dorm.
Overdorm.
Overdorm. They've already trademarked that. We're going to get in trouble now, right? Just kidding. So, who knows? I think it's pretty exciting, like to see that TESPA expand this, and it just kind of increases that like longevity of Overwatch and kind of bringing it into the limelight, especially with the recent acquisitions of more high-profile people at the esports division of Blizzard. And I don't know about Hearthstone. I read 2 articles the other day that said that Hearthstone competitive is dying unless they make a change. But
really,
like the latter or tournaments?
Tournaments, because of like just the way some of the cards work.
Okay.
And it's just they said like these 2 people, they're of course just opinion pieces, but they were talking about how they feel that it's declining because of the kind of, I don't know, the way that the cards work. Like, for example, like racing to get Yogg, and then, oh, I got Yogg, so I'm going to win, kind of thing.
Yep.
And it's just not as exciting to watch then. So
I've heard some people compare it to Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't remember what that. And that was years ago for me, but there was something in Yu-Gi-Oh where you just dig to build it. You build it and you win, and that was basically how you played, and that's how this has become.
There you go. But I think that's all for our news. We didn't have any questions for Ask Overcast segment this week, so if you have any questions, you can tweet at the show directly. Also, you use hashtag AskOvercast, and we'll answer it on the show. So, with that out of the way, let's just give everybody a chance to figure out where they can find us on social media. Ova, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter or on Twitch at Ovadrive CTR. How about you, Sawfty?
Find me at Old Sawfty on Twitter.
And I'm Frosty Fox everywhere, Twitch, Twitter, like pretty much everything.
Your mama's house.
Your mama's house. So remember, you can always follow the show at Overcast Show. Blog page is overcast.frozenfoxmedia.com. Head up frozenfoxmedia.com if you want to learn about this, all the other shows, and about Pixel Prowler, our new video game journalism website. That's right. You don't want to miss out on that. So there's that. Give us a good review if you like to listen to the audio version of the show on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play Music, or anywhere else. If you're listening, or if you're watching the video version, give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Remember to like our Facebook page too. So we got a Facebook page out there that I can stream to. I should stream my competitive placement matches to that.
Absolutely.
Maybe that'd be a good idea. So finish out the last few of them. Anyway, thank you all for joining for the 53rd episode of Overcast, your Overwatch podcast. So glad to have you. We'll be back next week with hopefully maybe not some sad news of people leaving Blizzard, but some exciting news from the world of Overwatch. So hope everyone has a fantastic week. I am Frosty.
I'm Ovadrive.
Sawfty.
We'll see you next week.